Before the words of Genesis were ever written, there existed a sacred testimony, the hidden book of Adam. This ancient record, veiled by time and silence, holds whispers of a world untouched by sin, a garden not merely of earth but of light and spirit. It speaks of a connection between the Creator and his first man, a dialogue rich with divine mysteries and timeless truths. Long before the heavens declared their glory and the sun cast its first rays, Adam beheld a light not born of stars, but of God's own presence. In this light, he witnessed the harmony of Eden, a place woven with layers of spiritual wonder and celestial guardianship. Yet, this testimony carries more than memory. It carries a warning, a prophecy, etched in fire and shadow, hidden away by those who feared its power to awaken hearts. The Book of Adam invites us to remember what was lost, not just a garden, but the sacred bond that called humanity to its true origin. It challenges the stories we think we know, revealing a history deeper and more profound, where angels walked and the future trembled beneath the weight of divine revelation. As we open this ancient scroll through the eyes of faith and the heart of a seeker, we step into a journey beyond time, into the very soul of creation. Here lies the voice before Genesis, a call to awaken the light within, to reclaim the legacy written not by Moses, but by Adam himself. In the beginning, before the familiar words of Genesis were ever spoken or written, there existed a sacred testament, the lost book of Adam. This ancient record, whispered through secret traditions and carefully guarded by faithful scribes, holds the first man's own voice, his intimate dialogue with the Creator, and the truths he was entrusted with from the dawn of time. Known among scattered manuscripts as the Life of Adam and Eve, or the Book of the Words of Adam, fragments have been preserved in Ethiopian, Armenian, and Coptic writings, hidden in places where the world dared not look. This book was not a simple tale of creation. It was a living testimony filled with visions, spiritual realities, and celestial mysteries that were far more profound than the common narrative of a garden and a fall. It revealed the presence of angels who walked Eden's layered realms, the divine warnings passed from father to son, and even the existence of beings who roamed the earth before Adam. But such truths were dangerous to the religious authorities who sought to control the spiritual narrative, and so this testimony was removed, buried beneath centuries of silence and fear. Yet its very existence reminds us that history is not only what is recorded, but also what is hidden, and that our understanding of God's plan is incomplete without the voices once lost. From this, we learn that the connection between God and man is deeper than tradition, calling us to seek the hidden wisdom that waits patiently beneath the surface. This awakening to Adam's lost testimony opens our eyes to Eden, not as a mere garden, but as a gateway to divine presence and eternal truth. Eden was not merely a patch of earth lush with trees and flowing rivers. It was a sanctuary where heaven and earth intertwined in mysterious harmony. Adam's testimony paints Eden as a place of many layers, spiritual, angelic, and earthly, where the air itself was alive with the presence of God, and the light that filled it was unlike anything born of sun or stars. Through doors of radiant light, angels entered and left, their footsteps accompanied by the sacred music of creation itself, a divine melody that echoed through the very fabric of the garden. This vision calls us to see Eden not as a simple physical locale, but as a living gateway, a place where the invisible world met the visible, where the spiritual and material realms converged in perfect union. Understanding Eden in this way teaches us that paradise was never lost in a distant past, but remains accessible as a spiritual reality, calling every soul to awaken and return. It invites us to look beyond the material world, to rediscover the sacred connection to God that lies at the heart of existence. From this profound vision of Eden as a gateway, Our hearts are led naturally toward the deeper mysteries revealed to Adam, a cosmic conflict that shaped the destiny of heaven and earth, a celestial war whose echoes reverberate through all creation and into the story of humanity itself. Long before the footsteps of man touched the dust of Eden, a great upheaval shook the heavens. Adam's testimony reveals a profound truth. The fall of humanity was preceded by a celestial war, a spiritual conflict that rent the very fabric of the cosmos. This was no mere story of earthly failure, but a cosmic rebellion led by a powerful being who opposed the will of the Creator. Ancient texts like the Book of Enoch and the Gnostic writings echo this vision, telling of angels cast down, their light extinguished, their pride leading them away from divine harmony. Adam, as the first man and prophet, was granted the vision of this heavenly fall, a revelation that showed the spiritual forces at play behind the scenes of creation. Understanding this cosmic war helps us see sin and suffering not as isolated human errors, but as part of a grander divine drama unfolding through all of time. It reminds us that behind every shadow on earth, there is a story of light lost and hope waiting to be restored. This revelation invites us to look beyond the surface, to recognize that our personal struggles are connected to a cosmic narrative of redemption and restoration. From this cosmic conflict springs a profound division among Adam's descendants, a split that defines the spiritual landscape of humanity. Adam's lost book speaks of two distinct lineages, the children of the earth and the children of light. This division, older than the story of Cain and Abel, reflects a spiritual heritage marked by choice and allegiance. The Book of Jubilees and Gnostic scriptures affirm this duality, describing those who follow the path of the serpent and those who seek the ways of the Creator. This is not simply a metaphor, but a living reality that continues to shape our world, our beliefs, our actions, our very destinies. Recognizing these two lineages challenges us to examine the heritage we embrace and the path we walk. Are we bound by the desires of the flesh, heirs of the earth's shadow, or are we children of the light, called to restore the broken connection to the divine? This spiritual choice is more than personal. It echoes through the ages and leads us toward the hope of reunion with the light that Adam once mourned, a light that still beckons each soul toward redemption. Before the first light of the sun touched the earth, there was a glory unlike any we can see or imagine, a divine radiance that filled Eden with a presence that was not of this world. Adam's testimony speaks tenderly of this light, a glory that was the breath and heart of creation itself. It was not a light born from stars or fire, but the pure essence of God's own being, shining forth in a way that wrapped the garden in a holy embrace. This light was the foundation of life, the harmony of all things, a spiritual illumination that sustained the very fabric of Eden's existence. When Adam was cast out, his deepest mourning was for this lost light, the sacred brilliance that faded from his sight but never from his soul. It is this same light that the Gospel of John speaks of, the true light that comes into the world to shine in the darkness, a light that death could not overcome. The lesson here is clear and heartfelt. The light we seek is not outside us, but within, a divine spark waiting patiently to be rekindled. This longing for restored light leads us to the sacred mystery of a book sealed by fire, a divine record held until the appointed time. Adam's testimony reveals that there was a sacred book, written by divine hand and sealed with fire, held apart from human hands until the time when the world would be ready to receive its truth. These records, preserved through secret traditions and guarded by faithful souls, held the knowledge of creation, prophecy, and redemption. Ancient discoveries, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, whisper of books sealed from the foundation of the world, hidden until the moment of revelation. Today, as forgotten manuscripts emerge and ancient wisdom circulates anew, it seems the time foretold is near. the moment when this sealed book begins to open. This teaches us the profound truth that divine revelation comes in God's perfect timing, not in haste, but in patient preparation. It invites us into a sacred trust, to receive with humility, to protect with faith, and to live in the light of the knowledge unveiled. As the seals break and the scrolls unfold, we come to see Adam not only as the first man, but also as the first prophet, whose vision spanned the beginning and the end, beckoning us to walk in the light he so deeply cherished. Adam was more than the first man fashioned from dust. He was the first prophet who saw beyond the dawn of humanity into the shadows of its end. His lost testimony tells of visions not only of Eden's beauty and fall, but of wars to come, suffering yet unseen, and a people who would reject their Creator's love. These revelations burdened his heart with sorrow, tears for a future marred by separation and strife. He wept, not merely for his own exile, but for the generations that would walk a path of division and darkness. This prophetic gift transforms our understanding of Adam from a passive figure into an active messenger entrusted with the weight of divine foresight. Through his eyes, we glimpse a story that stretches beyond time, calling each of us to awaken and prepare for the restoration that God promises. Recognizing Adam's role as a prophet challenges us to listen carefully to the ancient voice that still speaks, a voice that warns, comforts, and offers hope. The reason Adam's book was hidden away and feared for so many centuries lies in the power of the truth it contained. This was a dangerous truth, one that undermined the control of earthly authorities who governed spiritual knowledge and access to God. The book revealed a direct relationship between man and Creator, bypassing the priests, the rituals, and the hierarchies that stood between them. It exposed a divine intimacy that empowered individuals to seek God for themselves, threatening the structures that relied on mediation and control. History shows us that when truth challenges power, it is often silenced, marginalized, or labeled heretical. Yet, this suppression only deepens the longing and fuels the eventual awakening. This teaches us a vital lesson. Truth, no matter how threatening it may seem to the world's systems, is the light that will break through every darkness. Courage to seek and speak truth is the path to freedom and restoration. Across the centuries, amidst the silence and shadows, a whisper has endured, a gentle yet persistent call that transcends time and culture. Symbols like two interlocking circles, ancient marks found in manuscripts and artifacts, speak of a portal between heaven and earth, a sacred union waiting to be restored. This whisper reaches out now to those whose hearts are stirred by a hunger for meaning and truth beyond the confines of tradition. The Book of Adam, once hidden and forbidden, has found its way back to those who are ready to receive it. It is as if the book was meant to find you at this moment, calling you to awaken the dormant light within and to reclaim the heritage of divine connection lost in the fall. This is not merely the rediscovery of an ancient text, but the revival of a sacred relationship, a bridge spanning from the beginning of time to the unfolding future. As the whisper grows louder in your soul, it invites you to step into the light, to become part of a lineage of seekers who carry forward the promise of restoration and hope. In the quiet moments of reflection, when the world's noise falls away and the heart begins to listen, the ancient truths hidden in the Book of Adam stir like a gentle breeze through the soul. This is not just a story of the past. It is a living invitation to remember who we truly are, children of light, born from a divine spark that no shadow can ever extinguish. The journey we have taken through Adam's lost testimony, the layers of Eden, the cosmic battles, and the prophetic visions, is a call to awaken to a deeper reality that has always been waiting beneath the surface of our existence. It reminds us that the connection between heaven and earth, between Creator and creation, is not broken beyond repair, but patiently waiting to be restored. This restoration begins in each heart willing to seek beyond the veil, to embrace the light within, and to carry that light into a world longing for hope. As we close this chapter, it becomes clear that the truths contained in the Book of Adam are more than ancient words. They are seeds planted in the fertile ground of our souls. These seeds awaken us to the profound reality that from the very beginning, humanity was meant to walk in the light of divine presence, to live in harmony with the spiritual realms, and to bear witness to the unfolding story of redemption. The knowledge that Adam was not merely the first man, but the first prophet who saw both the beginning and the end, invites us to see our own lives as part of this sacred narrative. We are heirs to a legacy of faith, courage, and revelation that transcends time and space. In a world filled with uncertainty and turmoil, the message of the lost Book of Adam shines as a beacon of hope and renewal. It calls us to break free from the chains of ignorance and fear, to reject the shadows that seek to keep us blind to our true identity. The journey of rediscovery is not always easy, for it requires humility, perseverance, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. Yet, the reward is immeasurable. A restored relationship with the Creator, a rekindling of the inner light, and a renewed purpose to live as children of the divine light. This awakening is not just personal, but communal, inviting us to come together as a people united by the ancient call to remember and reclaim our spiritual heritage. For those whose hearts have been stirred by these revelations, who sense the fire of truth burning within, there is a path forward, a path illuminated by the very light Adam mourned yet never ceased to hope for. It is a path of faith, of seeking, and of sharing the ancient wisdom that has the power to transform lives and communities. As you journey on this path, know that you are not alone. Countless others have felt the whisper of this lost testimony, the call to awaken from spiritual slumber and to step boldly into the light. Together, we form a tapestry of hope, woven from the threads of ancient prophecy and modern revelation. If this message has touched your soul, if it has opened a door to new understanding and hope, then join this growing community of seekers and believers. Subscribe to this channel to continue exploring the mysteries of faith, history, and divine truth. Share this video with those who hunger for meaning and light, and help spread the awakening that the Book of Adam calls forth. Your support enables the creation of more content that unveils hidden wisdom and inspires hearts to rise. Like and subscribe, not just as acts of engagement, but as declarations of your commitment to truth and light. Let your voice be part of the chorus that carries this ancient message into every corner of the world. May the lost words of Adam continue to echo through the chambers of time, awakening hearts, breaking chains, and lighting the way home. The story began with him, but it does not end there. It lives in each of us, a sacred flame calling us to walk in the garden within, to reclaim the glory before the sun, and to embrace the eternal presence of the Creator. Step into this light, carry it forward, and let it shine brightly in a world waiting to be reborn.